Good day, my name is Alexander Flor. This video is part of the Media and Technology Literacy for Accreditors series of TVUP. Today, I'd like to talk about Disruptive and Emergent Technologies, Part 2, Quantum Computing. Again, a disclaimer. This presentation intends to provide context and insight on disruptive and emergent technologies that will impact on higher educational programs and may influence our better judgment as accreditors. The views and opinions expressed do not represent the entire spectrum of thought on the subject within the UP Open University and within the University of the Philippines system. So these views are not meant to determine or influence the development of higher education standards for Philippine institutions. I'd like you to take a look at this photo on the left side of the screen. This is a series of servers that make up part of the Summit supercomputer of IBM. The Summit supercomputer is supposed to be the fastest supercomputer in the planet. Now take note that all of these servers, when put together, they could fill up a large gym, or a basketball court. Now this photograph on the other side, which looks like a two-door refrigerator, and there is this gizmo in between. This is a quantum computer. It would occupy the size of your CR or comfort room. Compare that to the gymnasium-sized area that a supercomputer would occupy, and compare their capabilities. In October of 2019, a few months prior to the lockdown, a few months prior to our migration to online learning as an entire educational community, there was an event that occurred. It was called quantum supremacy. Quantum supremacy is when you reach the point when there is proof that a quantum computer could outperform a supercomputer. This was in October 19, 2019. Okay. Now, the quantum computer of Google, its name is Sycamore, while IBM supercomputer is called the Summit. During this event, it was proven that a computation that would take IBM supercomputer 10,000 years to perform, that's 10,000 years to perform, would only take Google's Sycamore quantum computer 3 minutes to perform. So that's 10,000 years compared to 3 minutes to complete this particular task. Okay, so the quantum computer is 1.5768 or 1.5768 times billion faster than the world's fastest supercomputer owned by IBM. The speed of supercomputers are measured by the number of tasks that it could do in 1 second. And this task is measured by quadrillions, called peta. Okay, peta. Peta is 1 followed by 16 zeros. The number of quadrillion, or the number of quadrillions of tasks that can be performed in 1 second. So this is called, these tasks are called floating point operations, or flops. A petaflops would be 1 quadrillion flops, 1 quadrillion operations per second. The Summit computer operates at 200 petaflops, 200 quadrillion operations per second. 200 quadrillion operations per second. But the human brain operates at 1,000 floating operations per second. Okay? And the quantum computer is 315.36 million times faster than the human brain. Now imagine the implications of this. Okay? This highlights the need for impact assessments or anticipatory studies. What if quantum computers begin running artificial intelligence programs? This would really be disruptive. So again, consider the implications. There are many thought leaders from a wide spectrum of fields that have a very radical view of the essential nature of information and communication. And this is the discipline where we belong to. An artist or a writer has said in the late 60s that the universe is made of stories. The universe is made of stories and not of atoms. This is Rocky Sayer in 1968. And a sociologist from Germany has expressed this view that the entire social world is constituted through communication and communication only. Meaning there are, organizations are made up of communication. Universities are made up of communication. Okay. The entire social world is constituted through communication and communication only. That's Professor Luhmann of Germany. And there are physicists who believe that reality is made up of information. The person who coined the term black hole, J. Archibald Wheeler, actually expressed this in a short sentence. It from bit, meaning it, matter, comes from bits. Patterns of information are the fundamental reality. This comes from Ray Kurzweil in 2005, and recently in 2019, James Lovelock, who proposed the Gaia hypothesis, believes that the bit is the fundamental particle from which the universe is formed. Okay? Whether we believe them or not, the development of quantum computers, now they are there, now they're at the horizon, and eventually they will be deployed. Okay, what will this, or how will this impact educational programs? How will this impact the entire professional world, for that matter? Which reminds me of a poem that was written more than a century ago by William Butler Yeats. And it has the first stanza is, turning and turning in the widening gyre, the falcon cannot hear the falconer. Things fall apart, the center cannot hold. Mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. Things fall apart, the center cannot hold. Mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. That's from William Butler Yeats, from the poem The Second Coming. There are thought leaders, as I mentioned a while back, that believe that the essential nature of information and communication, although we practitioners and scholars in the field are not aware of it, the main or essential nature of information is to hold things together. To hold things together in an organization, to hold things together in society, to hold things together in a community, to hold things together in living systems. And with the development of these disruptive technologies, what would happen to holding things together. At the UP Open University, we have a faculty of Information and Communication Studies. That's equivalent to a college in brick and mortar universities. And in that faculty, we believe that communication is transformational. We believe that information is transformative, that the essential nature of information is to negate the so-called entropy within living systems, or that tendency for things to decay. We also believe that communication constructs realities. And shortly after the quantum supremacy event, I, as dean, declared a pan-disciplinary manifesto. That was in January of 2020. Of course, I do not claim that I speak in behalf of the rest of the faculty, but I will share this to you nevertheless. Information and Communication Manifesto. We believe in the essential nature of information and communication and the significant role these play in our evolution as a species and the entire scheme of things. We believe that information and communication lead to cognition within living systems and thus creates, sustains, and generates life. We believe that information determines our realities, and communication is a critical function among all living systems at all levels. We believe that there is more to information and communication literacy than the ability to utilize them. That literacy extends to the understanding of how these shape our past, present, and future. In other words, our very existence. And of course, this is a video series on media and technology literacy. We believe that information and communication bring power to the user, and that this power should be used responsibly and conscientiously. And we believe in the moral, ethical, and productive use and application of information and communication strategies, techniques, and technology. And thus, we declare that understanding and explaining the essential nature of information and communication and their implications on our economic, social, and cultural lives are significant academic pursuits, as well as personal endeavors. And we declare that this knowledge should be scientifically arrived at, rigorously, periodically validated, and appropriately shared. And thus, we affirm that we will serve as a platform for generating this knowledge through research, promoting it through instruction, and applying it through policy formulation and program planning. Furthermore, we affirm that we will design and develop appropriate technology solutions, applications, and communication strategies guided by this knowledge.